Hi guys, welcome back to Book Review Thursday. Today we're going over God of Wrath, which is the third book in the series Legacy of Gods by Rina Kent. I blanked. I was actually very excited for this book because it's the brother of Annika, which is the main female character on the second book, which is Lord of Pain, God of Pain. I actually really liked this book. The drama was not crazy. It was very low. It wasn't all intricate as it was in the second book. The drama on this book was focused on the main female character, which was Cecily, during a high school party. Her boyfriend at the time drugged and assaulted her, and she had a lot of issues that came from that. In a specific, one of the things that we actually see on victims or survivors of sexual assault, they develop sexual tastes that are more on the aggressive side. Some of them actually being rape fantasies, to call them, is consensual, non-consensual. So they agree to act out these scenes with a person of trust. Kinda meant like to build a bandage over the wound, not to really erase the hideous act that happened before you, because you can never really forget it once you go through a traumatic event like that. But creating a scene relatively similar to it, but in which you have the control, because if all of the times, if not most of them, you have a word that you can say in which the act will completely stop. That's what you have to do with somebody that you trust, that no matter which step of the act you're in, the moment that word is said, it's completely stopped. But because she has these dark sexual tendencies, she judges herself a lot, thinking that there is something wrong with her. And that is something that she needs to get over with, and seems to be the main plot and difficulty during that time. Sorry if you see Halo here, playing with my hands here and there because I move them and she thinks I'm playing with her when I'm not. And then we have Jeremy, which I don't think there's a lot of, the drama wasn't mostly on his side, other than Cecily at the beginning. When they met, she actually had a crush on Landon, and him and Landon, they are in different schools. They are the leaders of the secret societies within the school, so they hate each other. And that becomes an issue, to the point, actually, during one scene in which they're having relations, Cecily says Landon's name instead of Jeremy's. And obviously that would piss everybody off. I would think so. If for example, I'm having relations with my husband, instead of saying my name, to saying another chick's name, I'll be coming out with a knife. I'll be stopping right there, right now, going to the kitchen, getting a knife, and be like, "What are you talking about?" But that's just me. Either way, let's get back to the book. One of the first quote that scared me right out the bat from Cecily is like, "I would have left as well if I hadn't made a promise, but I did, and I need to keep my word." Right out the bat, she's in the initiation, King's University, which is the Mafia Connected, which is the one for Jeremy, and she infiltrated the initiation so she could scout information out for Landon so he can use it against them. And for some reason, she's very good at scouting all the cameras, like in the woods. And this is something Landon uses later. He sells information for the other group within King's Youth that wants to get rid of them. The other group that wants to get rid of them is the Heathens. And I am blanking right now. What is the name for King's Humane Secret Society? But they start fire in which Jeremy almost dies, but is saved by Creighton, which is the main guy within the first book. But so I won't get much into that. One of the things Cecily says is, I have perfect spying skills due to my superpower. I was a bit confused and I'm like, does this girl actually think she has a superpower? I was starting to think that maybe Cecily has a mental disease, but no, she's just not noticeable by many people. So she thinks herself like, oh, in being invisible is my superpower. That's how I can help Landon finding information. This girl doesn't realize he's just using her for the longest time until the scene in the house where he sent her a text that it's on fire and it's burning, and that's when everything comes crashing on her. It's like, oh my god, I helped a sadist, a narcissist, an arsonist. And he knows she has this crush on him, and he uses that to his advantage to keep manipulating her, to keep bringing her in, and it pisses me off so much. But the next book in the series is actually about him. It's Landon's romance story, so we'll see if I read it. Cecily finds out that Landon is member of a club, of a sex club that actually has the same dark tendency that she has when it comes to like sexual pleasure. So she signs up for this club and puts the preference basically describing Landon, and she gets matched with a guy and she 100% thinks it's Landon. And I'm like, girl, he's not the only 5'11" man in whole London. What makes you think that just because you describe this guy, it's gonna be the one with you? Like, so many other men could fit this qualities, but she put it in her head that it's only gonna meet him, which is ridiculous to me. I don't see how she's rationalizing this, but that was the way. There's knife play and gun pleasing within this book. So if you're into it, this will be a book to read. Yeah. I'm not gonna go into much depth on that. But how they get close is because she in the sex club actually matches with Jeremy and not Landon. And that's how he starts like his obsession over her. We find out that because of what happened to her with her high school boyfriend and traumatized her, she has sleep paralysis. And is one thing Jeremy realizes it because his mom had that issue until his little sister was born, which was Annika. So he helps her through that because he couldn't help his mom. So she gets attacked and he saves her to the point that these guys are unalive. This is me, Cecily. I feel not an ounce of remorse for those fuckers. If anything, I'll do it again and again until death transforms from dread to a luxury. I'll torture them until they can recognize their own images in the mirror, and I'll do it often, repeatedly, and with gradual brutality until there is nothing left of them. I'm scared of this part of Jeremy. Why? You know this guy is a mafia hair, future mafia lord. He has to be willing to get rid of people that are in his way. Plus, he did it to protect you. I don't understand the thing in this book. These girls get with this guy that are like mafia connected, and then they're surprised when they kill someone to protect them. It comes with a job. Mafia, uh, gangs, any kind of stuff like that is like, and I feel like murder are like connected, like they go hand in hand. You cannot separate the two. I really like this quote by Jeremy. By the way, I also love the name Jeremy. Very pretty. I like it. I'm not a nice man, Cicely. I won't pretend otherwise, or I'll be doing you and myself a disservice. What I am, however, is someone who'll slaughter your demons one by one until you're finally free of them. I'll touch your scars until you normalize them and can live with them, because they are what makes you who you are. That is poetry. Yes, love that. I am gonna go up there and punch him. I literally just call him, saying that I need him to be more silent and quiet, and he keeps yelling. They're getting better if their relationship, and he brings Cicely back to the house, and it scares me because at this point I'm thinking, oh goodness, she's gonna get more information to give to London. This is gonna be a mess because he's going like full into the relationship. You felt left out of an important part of my life, the hiddens. And you're here because you're not my dirty little secret. Actually, the hiddens might be their name, and then the serpents is the other team that is against them. And then the lords is the team for the royal you. Yeah, I think it's lords, hiddens, and then serpents. I love this quote, and it's a very stocky quote we get from Levi. I resist the urge to stroke the freckles beneath her eyes. The 153 of them. Yes, I counted them. I'm stockish and crazy. I love it. Now I need my husband to count how many freckles I have in my body. He won't. I live for the most mentally unstable men characters. Why? I don't know. Levi finds out who the boyfriend that drugged her and sexually assaulted her was and when by, and he didn't kill him per se. He made him confess and go to jail. And this girl is losing her mind over him hurting people that have hurt her, acting like this is the biggest deal of my life, which makes me so angry. You'll have to, or I will hate you. Smoke. Smoke is the code word for stopping the sexual act, but in this case, she's using it to stop him from being with her or chasing her. I can forgive you when I'm scared of what you'll do to my feelings at the slightest hint of trouble or if you see Lang near me again. You know, when I was lying on the floor feeling the nightmare restart all over again, my heart was heavy with pain you inflicted. I can live in fear for the rest of my life, Jeremy. I just can't. Fear of what? Landon was the one that used you. You screamed his name during sex. This man has the right to be angry and hate this man. He's the man that gave information for the serpents to set his house on fire. He's not blaming you for it. He's not angry at you for it. And you're losing your shit like you're the one that should be offended? Let me slap you in the face, Cicely. Ugh, I'm so upset. We have a quote over here. Like Ilya once told me, either I can accept him the way he is or let him go. Yes. And you supposedly chose to accept him, but then threw it back at his face like it was an issue. Ugh. Two-Face. Since I can physically be without him, I have to get used to this part of him. You should have gotten used to that part of him 5 chapters ago. Or like 20 actually. But whatever. It only took her 98% of the book to accept this. You can tell why Cecily wasn't my favorite chapter. But then she just kept victimizing herself when Jeremy was just trying to help her and fix her and get revenge not only on her but all the other women this guy assaulted too, because Cecily wasn't the first or the last one. She was just like caught in the middle of it. But they end up having a happy ending as usual. Because this part of she accepting him wasn't the epilogue. Like after the end of the book, I was upset. But yeah, it's a good book. The sexual scenes, 10 out of 10. I love the darkness of it. Does that say something about me? Nah, I don't think so. Does it? Either way, spice level, I will give it a 4.5 out of 5. They're good. They're very out there. And as the book itself, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Still pretty good. I love Rina Can. What do you think? Did you like this book? Did you like the sexual scenes? Did you think that they were a little too far off? Not far enough, because it can definitely get darker than this. Either way, I'll recommend it. Thank you for spending time with me, and I'll see you on the next review Thursday.